On a cold day of winter, there's nothing quite like a mug of hot chocolate, yep, and a blanket and something to snuggle up in. Ah, I feel as snug as a bug in a rug. Wait, there are bugs in my rugs? I should hope not. Probably not. When we hear the expression of as snug as a bug in a rug, many of us will think of being wrapped in a warm blanket on a cold winter's day. Now, obviously, this video is being filmed when it's really hot outside. But here I am with my blanket and pretending it's a cold winter's day. And I'm actually feeling rather cozy, which the bug in the rug phrase means. It means feeling warm and cozy, typically while wrapped in a blanket. We could say this: the sisters are all as snug as a bug in a rug watching a movie together. Or we could say, you know what, in his sleeping bag, he'll be as snug as a bug in a rug. Well, I think we just enjoy saying snug as a bug in a rug because those words all sound alike. Well, the phrase actually has been around for a long time. And it sort of started using some other phrases which were somewhat similar. In 1603, there was a phrase in a play which said, "Let us sleep as snug as pigs in pea straw." As snug as a pig in a pea straw. Okay. In 1706, 100 years later, another writer in a book, the writer's name was Edward Ward, wrote, "He sits as snug as a bee in a box, making his honey." Now, not quite a bug in a rug, but a bee in a box. And Ben Franklin, you've heard of Ben Franklin? Well, in 1772, he wrote an epitaph to memorialize a friend's pet squirrel, Snug, who apparently had died. And so in Franklin's letter to this family's friend, this family, he writes, "Here Snug, the squirrel, here Snug lies snug as a bug in a rug." And apparently that's the first reference we have to snug as a bug in a rug. So Ben Franklin is attributed with coming up with this phrase. So, when I'm wrapped in a blanket, though I'm not wrapped in a rug, and I for sure don't think I'm a bug, so why do we say this phrase as snug as a bug in a rug when we're wrapped up in our blankets? Well, we need to look at each of these words and see how their meanings have changed over time, and that might help us understand how we got this phrase a bit. The word snug. Snug was used in the 16th century to describe trim, neat, compact designs of a ship, or of its parts that help make it seaworthy. Or it also indicated that the ship was ready for its voyage and ready for riding out any storms. So the ship was referred to as being a snug ship, ready to go, seaworthy, snug. In time, snug was also extended to mean that a person who had a neat or tidy appearance was snug, or that a piece of clothing fit closely but comfortably. These pants feel snug. This shirt feels snug. Okay, ready to go. It fits comfortably. The word snuggle comes from the reference of snugging close together for warmth. So snug sort of references this feeling compact and tight and cozy. The word bug in this expression is from the Middle English word bugge, which originally referred to either a scarecrow or a hobgoblin. When they used to say bug, it was not about insects, but in the 16th century, the word bug began to be used to refer to insects as we use it now. The word rug is from Scandinavia. Early uses of rug in English refer actually to a type of rough wooden clothing fabric that was popular in the 16th and 17th century. And besides clothing, rug was a fabric for making blankets and wraps used as bedding or simply to keep warm. So when you wrap something around you, you were actually wrapping a rug around you. The use of the word rug as a floor covering originated later, about the early 17th century. So all these words, snug, bug, rug, had different meanings years and years ago. Now we think of snug as a bug in a rug as, well, you probably won't find any bugs getting warm in our blankets, at least we hope not. And so when we say snug as a bug in a rug, we're just talking about being content and cozy in our blankets. Yeah, content. That's a great word, isn't it? I like to be content. I hope you like to be content. Content means to be happy, at peace. And Scripture refers to content and how to be content. Scripture refers to contentment and how to be content. That's right. Philippians chapter 4, the Apostle Paul says this, and I bet some of you have heard this verse before. I'm not saying this because I need anything. I have learned to be content, no matter what happens to me. Paul says, I know what it's like not to have what I need. I also know what it's like to have more than I need. I have learned the secret of being content no matter what happens. I am content whether I am well fed or whether I am hungry. I am content whether I have more than enough or not enough. I can do all of this by the power of Christ, who gives me strength. Hebrews 13:5 reminds us to not be controlled by love for money, but to be happy with what you have. For God has said, I will never leave you. In 1 Timothy, the Apostle Paul again writes, you gain a lot when you live a godly life, but you must be happy with what you have. Remember, we didn't bring anything into the world. We can't take anything out of it. If we had food and clothing, we will be happy with that. Those are some of the secrets to contentment, to be happy with what we have and to remember that all that we have are actually gifts from God. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 6, verse 25, I tell you, don't worry. Don't worry about your life and what you will eat and drink, and don't worry about your body and what you will wear. Isn't there more to life than eating? And aren't there more important things for the body than for clothes? Jesus was reminding us that God's care for us and his promises can help us be content, as snug as a bug in a rug. So I hope that you are content with your life, that you realize that the little and the large blessings that we receive each day are really gifts. And no matter what we experience, we can learn to be content. We can learn to be happy, just as the Apostle Paul says, no matter what happens. I'm remembering whose I am. I am God's. He cares for me, and I can feel as snug as a bug in a rug as I knocked over my mug of hot chocolate. I got to clean up. All right. Well, wishing you a day that's filled with joy, a day that's filled with contentment, and a day that's filled with peace. As snug as a bug in a rug. Got to clean up the hot chocolate. See ya.